Hey guys, it's Greg at the Vinyl Rundown. I got a very special guest today, a performer all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, a well-known DJ, musician, singer, songwriter, and vinyl collector, and a friend of mine that I've known for decades. Let's bring in Tony Felicetta.
How you doing?
Hey Tony, great to see you all the way from Sin City, Nevada.
Yeah,
And
I'm here.
So I was out in Vegas. We hung out and had lunch back in March, about a week before the COVID started. And you
Yeah.
reminded me that you're a huge record collector, and you and I both love hanging out in thrift shops and the
Uh-huh.
Goodwill and buying all those crazy records. And you and I worked at record stores a long time ago. We'll get into the
Licorice pizza.
records. Licorice Pizza, there it is, legendary. And you guys will. Tony will give you some of his contact information near the end, but you can see Tony perform in Vegas on a regular basis as a DJ. You may be able to get to see him once in a while as Ringo, since he plays the drums and sings.
Yeah.
You've still been doing the Elvis thing once in a while, not lately.
Not lately. No, I mean, obviously those things, a lot of that stuff has all gone away at the
Right.
moment.
But the Elvis thing
Hopefully.
was more in the, what was it? The
Yeah, just doing
Chapel of
chapel.
Love.
Yeah, weddings at chapels and meet and greets and stuff like that.
Do,
I'm not necessarily an Elvis performer, but
do,
I do put the jumpsuit on and say, "Thank you very much, sir, Mama."
love it.
Of
So,
course, all that is without the beard. This is
yeah,
only
you got the
during
COVID
the
beard
hibernation. Yeah, yeah.
Do
So.
businessmen really show up in Vegas to marry cocktail waitresses? Is that really a thing?
Probably. I don't know.
I think that's the correct answer. Is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
and then your best known performance of late is, let's bring him on screen here, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, starring
Yeah.
as Dean Martin with the Sharps, I think is your group.
Well, I've
And
got the Dino and the Sharps, but this is Dino a la carte, which is me by myself with
just
tracks.
Dino.
That's why I call it. Yeah,
very good.
It's a Dino a la carte. So it's Dino because I'm able to do Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, and myself and everything else. So I'm not technically doing a Dean Martin impersonation. I'm doing Dino with all of that encumbrance of Dean and Frank and myself and lounge singer and entertainer and all that stuff. So that's why I came up with the name Dino a la carte. So it's got the look and the feel and the songs of Dean, but I can also slip by and give you a bunch of other stuff and sing Love Boat and stuff like that. So
I didn't know you were I didn't know you had even more names on your list. So that's great.
Oh, I got plenty. DJ Tone Deaf, Dino a la carte.
DJ Tone Deaf, right? I know about that one.
That's me. That's my old one.
Well, I guess we're gonna talk about some of your more interesting and unique records, and maybe how you got started in music and listening to records. And
yeah, I could tell you all that.
What do you got? Yeah.
So when I was, my dad growing up was always a musician. He toured for one little tour with Pres Prado back in '55. Mm-hmm. He was a nightclub performer, an entertainer, a singer. I sing all the songs that he used to sing, and he recorded all of his bands on reel to reel, and I put them onto CDs. But anyway, so he was always around the house playing music, playing with his band. I used to go see him perform, and he would have 45s, and he would bring them home and chart out the charts, learn them for his band, and then when he was done with his 45s, he'd give them to me. So I couldn't wait. When he was done, it's like, "Daddy, are you done with the record yet?" It's like, "No, I'm still working on it." So that's kind of how my collection started. He would give me 45s, and then I started growing my collection. And one day I was a little kid, 5 or 6 years old or whatever, and he had told me, because I wanted his record collection, he said, "Son, one day when I'm an old man, you can have all my records." So about 2 weeks later, he's laying on the couch. I came up to him. I said, "Daddy, are you an old man yet?" And he said, "What?" I go, "Well, you said when you were an old man, you can give me all your records."
It's a long time for a kid to wait 2 weeks.
I know. So here's
this LA or where was all this?
I grew up in San Bernardino in Rialto.
Oh, okay.
So
Southern California.
Southern California, that's right. So we were at SeaWorld one day, and we were all out there. My dad and me, my brother, we were sitting there watching the Shamu show or whatever it was, and the guy had the microphone, and he's talking to hundreds of people. And I was just so excited about my record collection and being a record collector at like 6 years old or something. And I wanted to be able to tell everybody that, hey, my hobby is collecting records. But I didn't know how to tell everybody. And so we're sitting there watching Shamu, and I'm looking around. I see like hundreds of people here. And I'm going, maybe this is my chance. So the guy is like just talking up there, and I'm going, like, you know, raising my hand, like, and he just couldn't help. He goes, yeah, little boy, what is it? And I stood up in front of everybody and I said, my hobby is collecting records. And he said, all right, yeah. And my dad just looked at me and like, everybody was like, okay, yeah, great, you know. And that was
this kid?
I just wanted to put that out there.
You know, the modern day equivalent of that on the internet is the kid who stands up and says, I like turtles. Have you seen that video?
No.
I'll send that to you later. He's on TV. He's on TV at a carnival, and the lady walks up to him with the microphone. Hi, Channel 7 News. Do you like the carnival? And he goes, I like turtles. He's a total internet meme now that everyone's made fun of this book.
Oh, yeah. And
So
it's that
was
that
you
idea.
30 years ago.
Yeah. And so I wanted to tell everybody that that was my hobby. And so, and I had just kind of learned that word hobby. It's like, oh, that's what you like to do, you know.
Mhm.
So when I was like 4, my sister, I had 2 older sisters, and they were in high school at the time. So they were obviously into the Beatles and things. So my first record that my oldest sister got me was this one here. The Chipmunks Sing the Beatles Hits.
I have that.
Now,
it's on this shelf. Yes. Cool. Very cool.
This is not my original record. I've got my original record hanging up in a frame, but I found this and another one at a thrift shop. I couldn't believe it. And this is in great shape. Of course, the one that I have is, you know, not so good anymore.
Mine is pretty fresh.
But if you look on my YouTube channel, my dad had made a home movie video of us and my cousins, the Custards. Me and my brother are up there lip syncing the Beatles, the Chipmunks Beatles, and he's got it all on film, and the girls are go-go dancing, and I'm up there in a wig, and my brother's in a wig, and I'm like John Lennon, and we're singing. Anyway, it's a great little video.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've posted it up before, but
I think I peeked at that a while ago.
So that one you could see, and that's in action.
Well, did you know who the Beatles or the Chipmunks were at that time?
Oh yeah,
did you like the Chipmunks better than the Beatles at that point?
No, not really. I mean, the Beatles were the Beatles. You couldn't help but notice, and you had sisters that were in high school, and you know, and my sister was like, you know, hey Tony, this is good music. Don't listen to that stuff that mom and dad listen to, you know. Right. So that kind of got me started on records and things. Now I've got another record. This was one of my dad's records. This is home movie music. Speaking of home movies, and he took a lot of it. So this is this home movie music, and this is his original record, and I bought the second volume of it. This is the first volume, but it's got some great music on there.
Your dad owned that record. He didn't make it.
No, I've got all of his records because when, you know, after he passed, unfortunately in 2007, I got all of his records.
I thought you meant he was playing on the record.
No. He owned it. So
got it.
And another funny record that we gave him. They used to make these records that weren't really records; they were like joke gifts. So this is music for casual affairs. And it's not a real record. If you could see on the back, there's you know some funny titles in there like you know, Let's Do It and On Top of Old Smoky and Hard It Ain't Hard and stuff like that. But inside this record is not an actual record. It's a piece of cardboard that says I bought this album for you as a gift. Sorry I couldn't afford it. And on the bottom here, as you can see, is my name, Tony, that my mom signed for me. So that's my mom's signature, Tony, because we gave this to Daddy.
Embarrassed the hell out of your dad.
Yeah, and these were like little gifts. They weren't really a record. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna print the name of the parents right into the front there. That would be too complicated.
One of my favorite records and my all-time favorite movie of all time, my family too, is The Great Race. And I've got the Great Race album, which is a ridiculously great soundtrack. It's Henry Mancini. I love Henry Mancini. I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's the greatest movie of all time. Are you familiar with it, Greg?
It's like a cannonball race from
not really
years prior, or what?
It's a race around the world from New York to Paris. Right. It takes place in 1919, and it was Tony Curtis as the good guy, dressed in all white. I'll show you some pictures here on the inside. And okay, like that picture right there. There's Tony Curtis, all in white. Natalie
Mhm.
Wood, who I fell in love with as a little kid, and
Mhm.
Jack Lemmon as the villain, you know,
Mhm.
with the big handlebar mustache and stuff. And they did a race around the world from New York to Paris, and then it's a great movie. It's right in the same years as like the Pink Panthers. So it's directed, you know, by the I just forgot his name. I'm looking here. Directed by, oh, what the hell is his name? I just forgot it. Blake Edwards. Okay, directed by Blake Edwards, music by Henry Mancini, which of course were all the Pink Panthers. So it's got that
Pink
same
Panther, right.
shtick, that same funny sort of stuff.
Madcap,
zany, and kooky. Yeah, all at the same time.
3 of my favorites.
Yep. So that was. So I've got that album, and I've got a lot of Italian records. My grandpa, you know, I remember seeing my grandpa having this album. A lot of it's a cutout here of Italy.
I have some of that series. I might have Spain. I don't know if I have Italy.
Yeah, that I've got a lot of Italian records. I love Italian music. I love soundtrack stuff.
I need to talk to you about some Italian records because my wife's on a big Italian thing. Don't tell her. Hope she's not watching. But do you have Peppino? Do you know that record?
Oh yeah, I got that. I got that album, Peppino the Italian Mouse. Yeah.
I've shown that on my channel before, but
yeah, I figured you probably had, but
I love Peppino.
Yep. So I've got a lot of great old records that I could show you and talk about some things. I found this one recently. This, I don't know if you've got this, but this is all the Weirdos models. Did you ever remember building these when you were a kid?
I'm gonna put that on the blow up screen here. So
Okay.
pull it back a little bit.
Okay.
Back it towards your face.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, so those were like little.
They were models.
Car things.
Yep. And then on the back are the Silver
models.
Surfers.
You said models. I thought you meant women with.
No, models like you build like
models.
Airplane models and stuff. So I found this record recently, and this is great just because it's, you know, it's the models that I built as a kid. So this
super
rare. The album is in great shape too, and you know I got it for like $1 or whatever.
What kind of music is on there? Surfing or what?
Yeah, it's Gary Usher that wrote all the stuff. So it's like kind of go-go-ish, but kind of kooky-ish, kind of surfish, you know.
Like when those 60s shows tried to sound hip with the twang.
Exactly. And they named them. They named all the things out of, you know, off of what the models were. Like, you know, my favorite one was this one here. The guy, Hodad making a scene with a 6-pack, and then Beach Bunny. See that guy right there? Whoops. Yeah. Let me get my finger out of that. Here he is. Hodad making a scene with a 6-pack. Beach Bunny catching rays, and I built all these models. This Davy right here, the drag hag. This guy here looked like my dad, and he was called Daddy-O. So cool. It's just really cool stuff, and I found that a while back. Here's another great record I found at the thrift shops. It's kooky, and
kooky.
It's very cool. And the coolest part about it is it had the 8x10 inside the record, which the 8x10 is worth more than the record itself. And it's like a phony sign. Kooky Burns, Ed Burns. Oh. Kooky, lend me your comb. And he was the star of 77 Sunset Strip.
Okay, I know both of those. I just didn't know he made
so this album,
Kooky.
he kind of half talks it. He's not a singer, but they just wanted to get his good looks onto a record, you know. So here's another great record. I love spy stuff, James Bond stuff. The Liquidator, Lalo Schifrin. If I'm sure you're very aware of Lalo Schifrin.
Yeah.
Do you have this one at all by any chance?
Yeah, I don't have much of his.
But this is a great record. Shirley Bassey sang The Liquidator, so it sounds very Goldfinger-like. And he's got a lot of bossa nova on here.
The Liquidator was a movie that was kind of in the James Bond.
Because in the 60s there was 3 million spy movies back in the day. Once James Bond hit, everybody was doing spy movies. So they did that.
I saw Lalo Schifrin in person about 2 years ago. Christian McBride, the bass player, did a concert, and he said, "In the audience today is my idol, Lalo Schifrin. Stand up, round of applause." So.
Yep. Here's something. Yep. Now we worked together at Licorice Pizza. Here's my original Licorice Pizza shirt from when I was at San Bernardino Licorice Pizza. And yes,
Very
it still
cool.
fits me.
That's good.
But yeah, me and you worked together at the North Hollywood one. And at the
Great
North
store.
Hollywood one, you might remember this album, The Coconuts. You remember Kid Creole and the Coconuts?
Yeah,
right?
I remember Kid Creole. Did the Coconuts move away from Kid? And
he did a spin-off, one album with as the Coconuts with the girls, and this is really a cool, super cool album. It's got the same flavor, that island sort of funk sort of thing that Kid Creole and the Coconuts did.
Tropical little.
But this album was out when we were working at the old Licorice Pizza.
I never knew that the Coconuts, like the Pips, you didn't know they would go on their own.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they did one. They did one like that. Here's another super rare album. You probably don't know about this one. I don't know if you do. Scatman Crothers. You know Scatman Crothers?
I have one record of his that's pretty
really
cool. It's not that one.
Yeah, this is a really cool one. I mean, I found this one. I had no idea that he put some records out, but this is a great one.
Now, is he known for scatting, jazz style?
No, this was all just kind of like early 50s jump blues, R&B type stuff. It sounds very much like Louis Prima. I mean, his voice sounds like it's Louis Prima. If you were to put it on, you would think it might even be Louis Prima.
I've got a Scatman somewhere in my collection, and I can't even tell you where it is. But
yeah,
it's a cool record. Thrift shop find.
I have discovered. I mean, I've got a million records, but thrift shopping, finding stuff, I'm always amazed at how many new things that I could find. I mean, I'm sure yourself too, and everybody out there listening. Records, it's just like there's a million.
I had to build a back room because I've got 40 cubes in the main room, and now it's full. In the last 2 years, I've bought so much stuff. This is the overflow room. So my family's a little sick of me coming home with records. Like, are you going to listen to that? The music's no good. I'm like, yeah, but the cover's cool.
The cover's worth it. And
it's historical.
I probably got 20 album covers hanging up in frames around my house because sometimes you just buy it for the cover alone. It's worth that $1 or whatever it is.
Definitely. Got plenty of those.
Speaking of the cover, now here's a very famous cover. I know you know this album. Cal Jam 2.
Okay.
Cal Jam 2.
I think I was there.
I was there, and I'm actually on the album cover.
Oh, I see you. Wait.
See, now if you look right there, I put a little arrow there.
I'm going to blow you up here.
Okay, blow it up.
Do the blow
now,
up.
if you look, there's one guy that's turning around, looking at the camera in a black Led Zeppelin shirt. Do you see that guy with the long hair?
I see where the arrow's going.
Everyone else is turning the other way, but I am looking straight at the camera.
Can you guys see this at home on your?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the big screen. I'm going to put it on the 40-inch Macintosh screen later.
Yeah, I know, but that's me. I'm on the cover of that album.
Was that the one with David Bowie?
No, that was this was Aerosmith and
some other jam.
Cal Jam 2. I was like in high school back in the day. You know, Ted Nugent.
I'm in San Bernardino.
Yeah, this was at the Ontario Motor Speedway.
What's the one with that the Apple computer guy Wozniak or whatever sponsored? Was that?
Yeah, that was some other jam. The 3-day festival.
Yeah.
The US Festival.
That's the one I was in.
Yeah. That was great. I was working at the San Bernardino Licorice Pizza at that time. So,
I was working with Joe at Licorice Pizza, and I shut down our other shop early to go drive out to see David Bowie at the US Festival.
Yep.
Got in big trouble for closing the store early, but driving out to San Bernardino is kind of a pain in the neck for
that's
those of us here in the valley.
That's where I was.
You're lucky you were out there.
Moving on to, I'll switch it up for just a minute. I'm sure you and lots of people remember these little cutout records on the back of cereal boxes.
Flexies, right? Yeah.
There's cardboard. Look, it's cardboard.
Not a true flexi.
It was on the back of a honeycomb, and this is the Jackson 5. I've got a Jackson 5 one. Yeah, this was mine. I cut it out and played it. And this one is actually, is it I'll Be There? Yep, it's I'll Be There. And so at Licorice Pizza, I was the singles buyer, as you probably remember. And my ratio of what I had in stock to what I sold put me in the top 3 in the whole chain because I knew what to order because of what was selling, et cetera, et cetera. And I kept a good stock of things in there. And I was really proud of that because I was always a 45 guy. So 45s for me were like the way to go. And I collected a lot of these. These were really cool because they were misprinted and they didn't have anything on the label, as you see,
Plain.
on one side. But on the other side,
misprint.
Here it is. It's a Kiss. It's Detroit Rock City is on the other side.
Detroit
so for
Rock
some
City.
reason, on the other side of these, they didn't get printed. And so I ended up picking up, I got like 10 or 12 of these because it was so
Misprints.
cool because there was nothing written on there. I
They're
just
rare.
liked it. Very rare.
So,
I
so
don't
were
even
you
know
the
how much they're
buyer?
worth.
Which store were you the buyer at?
At the San Bernardino one, and then at the North Hollywood one, I was the singles buyer there too.
My lady down the hall there, I thought she was the singles buyer there for a while too.
Yes, she was. I think I know I was a key holder at the North Hollywood one, and Kelly did do the singles buying there. So I'm not sure if we split it up or if I was just not the singles buyer. Yeah, okay. Well, Kelly was there first, I think, but I was in San Bernardino. I was like the top 3 guys in the whole chain. Singles.
I didn't know we were keeping track of that. I was the CD buyer for a while, and I didn't know about the numbers.
I knew it because they told me, and I was like, "Oh, who knew?"
Yeah.
You know. Here's another great 45. I got this when I was a little kid, and my dad took us to go see the Harlem Globetrotters. This is a picture sleeve of the single of.
I'm blowing up again, so slide it over a little bit.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
Who actually played on it, though? Do we know?
Well, it's Brother Bones is the 45, and I bought this at seeing the actual Harlem Globetrotters. There's the 45.
Cool.
And
yeah, I took my son to see that.
But I saw the Meadowlark Lemon, Curly Neal. I mean, saw those guys. And that was like
I just used to watch them on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yep.
But took my son at least twice to see him here at the Staples Center.
Speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, I've got a few to show you here. Saturday morning cartoons like maybe Yogi Bear. I've got this nice little 45 from the movie that he came out with.
I didn't know he made a record.
El Kabong.
Okay, now that was one of our favorites because.
Yep, and look, it's even got
Hanna-Barbera.
All the records in there.
Not many people.
And look, it's got El Kabong, and on the other side, it's Ooch Ooch Ooch.
What's Ooch Ooch Ooch? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. It's just a funny song.
El Kabong is the guy who goes around and smashes his guitar in people's heads and says,
"Yep, that's right, El Kabong."
For the youngsters who don't know what's going on,
Quick Draw McGraw as El Kabong, and I also have Top Cat.
Very cool. You got the whole
And
Hanna-Barbera.
these were yellow records. Look at that, yellow records. The golden ones, and I've got a bunch of other ones like that. Here's that. This was mine as a kid. This one I had as a kid. The Top Cat one. This one I had as a kid. A Disney one. Ma'am, Madam Mim. Here's another one. Mr. Ed. I had all these as a kid.
Mr. Ed. Wow.
Mster Ed. Oh, horse is a horse. Of course.
You got
my favorite Martian. And here's a funny little flexi. With the hole right between
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark, yeah.
Dick Clark with a hole in his head.
Yeah, and there's the record. You put
that on. Still alive? Is he still alive?
I think he passed away a couple years ago.
I knew he was sick for the last few years, and then I guess he passed away.
Also, when I was a kid, I have this comic book which I tore the cover off of, unfortunately. But it's Surfer Tunes, Surfer by Monthly, which was the coolest drawings by Rick Griffin. And he only put out a couple of these comic books, and they're worth a lot of money. But I tore the cover off.
If you don't rip them in half.
And they're great cartoons inside. Look at the drawings in here. I mean, look at these things.
I'm hitting the blow up button again. Slide it over.
Like right here.
Oh yeah.
Like that guy, and like the band, the Bleach Boys and stuff like that. So, and he drew a cover for the Challengers as well. Oh, it's even have a centerfold. Look at that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I bring up that because I found this, My Son the Surf Nut, which is the Rick Griffin album cover that he drew, and he drew one for the Challengers too. The album is really, really terrible, but the cover is great. I just
love playing on that. Anybody special playing on that?
I don't know. It's these guys. It's
studio guys.
Hodad of the Year. Yeah, it's just not real good. Battle of the Bands. Yeah,
For
But I
collectors,
mean,
not
just
listeners.
once again, the cover alone is so cool.
Very cool.
And that was taken from Alan Sherman, My Son the Nut. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see the connection now.
Yeah, there's a connection. And also, there's a nut. Speaking of Alan Sherman, here's a Nipsey Russell album.
I've got one or two Nipseys.
Yeah, you got this one, The Birds and Bees?
No. Which one? I don't know which one I have.
Yeah, got some Birds and Bees and all that jazz.
I've got some Nipsey Russell Guzzlin' Party, something like that, with party balloons and.
Here's another couple of albums that I had as a kid. I still have them. This Monster Shindig, Super Snooper and Blabbermouth, and you recognize the characters. They were also, I think, on the Flintstones once because it's Hanna-Barbera.
Right.
You know. So this was mine as a kid, and I got that one. And this I had as a kid as well. This is my original album, Monsters Speak, because we used to build these monsters and stuff. But I met Forrest Ackerman. I don't know if you know who Forrest Ackerman was.
Remind us for my listeners.
But he was the famous monster magazines, and he was like he had a basement filled with all these old monster paraphernalia and stuff. He was like, I think, the editor or whatever of the Monsters magazine. Anyway, my buddy took me there, and he signed the album for me, and it says Beast Witches, Forrest Ackerman.
Best wishes. I get it.
Yeah.
So he went to like his publishing place, or he had a store, or what?
Well, it was his house. It was he would have these. No, he would open it up like once a week to friends and friends of friends to just show off the stuff he had in his house. And I filmed it and put it on one of my episodes of Rock Talk that I put out in the 80s, my own little TV show that I did. But I did that. That was great.
Public access? Did you have public access?
Yep, public access. It was nationwide because I was working at Warner Brothers Records as the video production coordinator. And so I had access to 3/4-inch tapes and sending them off and talking to all these video channels around the country. Got to know them. So it's like, here, I'll send you all the Warner Brothers ones. But hey, I'm doing this show. Maybe you can get this on too. And so my show was around the country. It was Rock Talk. I put 1, 2, and 3 out. I put the trilogy out. And
national.
One day I'll put them on YouTube.
This is going out international, by the way.
International. Speaking of YouTube, I do have a YouTube channel. You can see a lot of old home movies on that I did. I just put together, Mr. Lucky 59. You could see me and my cousins doing the Beatles Chipmunks thing. Also, there is a video I just put up of me at 5 years old singing King of the Woad with my dad on bass.
I saw that.
Yeah, not King
You must
of the
have
Road.
linked him on Facebook or something, because I've seen some of these.
Yep, I just put them on Facebook recently. And also, you can see a video I put together of my song in the 80s, Cool Down, by the Big Shots. And that was we were working together.
We've seen them live.
At that time.
We got to see them live.
You've seen the Big Shots live, and let me show you.
One of the few people.
That's right. Here's the LA1 compilation album. I got a few of these. Now, the LA1 compilation album features LA unsigned bands. And yours truly, here I am right here.
I'm going to do the blow
Big Shots. There I am.
You're in the middle there?
Yep, that's me right there. Yep. And that's my brother behind me, the Big Shots. Now, this album was filled with just local groups that really didn't do anything, but they were all unsigned, except
I don't know
one
any
band.
of the other ones. Uh-oh.
Yes, you do. Mary's Danish, here.
Yeah. Wow.
Don't Crash the Car Tonight. Now, they were on here right when they were starting to get their deal. And so we thought, hey, that's going to help launch this record because people will buy this. Well, it did okay. It sold a lot. I have since seen this record on eBay for like $20 or $30. And 3 years ago, when Uptown Funk came out, I discovered that Uptown Funk kind of ripped off Cool Down. Very much so that I got a lawyer and we went after the writers, and I went after them. I said, I just want to have some kind of settlement. I came up with different sort of options to do. Maybe either a bunch of money or have them record Cool Down, and I would make money off of that or whatever. And of course, all they did was deny, because when I learned one major thing. Even though I copywrote the song, it means nothing. Copywriting a song is 49%. 51% is accessibility. And it's because this record only sold hundreds or maybe thousands.
Mm-hmm.
If it sold millions, I would have had a case. Accessibility. I said, you can get this on eBay right now. You can get them in used record stores in LA. I'm sure you could find it.
Like 4 people that can access it.
So when you go on YouTube and watch Cool Down by the Big Shots, there is hints, not blatant, I mean, very blatant hints of what you would hear Uptown Funk. And I'm telling you, Uptown Funk, I can't prove it, but there's a lot, way too many similarities. And I came up with this a couple years ago when everybody was coming up with Stairway to Heaven and the Sam Smith and the all these songs that were coming out at the same time were coming up with lawsuits. You know, the Marvin Gaye and Robin Thicke song. You know,
right.
So anyway, so I tried to get that going, thinking that I would at least get some chump change thrown at me or whatever. All they did was deny, and that's it. So all I can do is claim that they ripped me off. But so, you know, I could go on that. That's a whole other hour we could talk about. But I'll move on.
I was waiting for the settlement where you're in a Lamborghini in a mansion, but I guess it didn't work out.
So was I. Yeah, believe me.
Next time.
How about this? How about Goldie Hawn? You got a Goldie Hawn record?
I do not have any Goldie Hawn. Maybe on video only.
Yeah, Goldie. I didn't even know she did a record. And that's pretty good.
Can she sing? Probably not.
Yeah, she sang okay. I mean, it's good, but they just sold it on her being Goldie Hawn.
Right.
I'm sure you have this one, right?
That is
April Stevens. You know, Nino and April. This is one of the steamiest, sexiest songs you will ever hear in your life. Teach Me Tiger. The rest of the album is really pretty steamy too.
Kelly might have that in her collection of good covers.
It's a good cover, and it's a pretty worthwhile record as far as money, and it's very steamy. Let me just say,
we don't want to
very steamy indeed, but not as steamy as Dionne Warwick.
We're getting steamier now.
As this Dionne Warwick album cover. Wait a minute, that's not Dionne Warwick. No, but this picture will sell a lot more records than putting Dionne Warwick on the cover.
I think I've seen that too.
That was an import I bought years ago. I was like, really? This is Dionne Warwick? It's not Dionne Warwick.
Not available in the U.S. probably.
I don't know. It was an import from somewhere.
Not for sale at Walmart for sure.
Yeah, and so I bought that. And now to just take you from that to this, we'll meet again. Look at this album cover. I don't even know anything about it. I'm afraid to play it because I think
male or it's a female.
Yes. Just look at that.
It's some kind of evangelical deal.
She just looks like she's like, we'll meet again.
I thought it was Liberace for a second.
I know. That's it. I got this so long ago. It's like, oh my God, this is just too good to pass up.
Get it for the cover.
Yep.
But maybe don't hang it up in your house.
Here's another interesting album. I don't know if you ever knew that Jack Lemmon recorded an album.
Don't think I did.
Well, it's a good thing that Jack Lemmon had a very good acting career because this album is really bad. Very bad. He's trying to sing a bunch of standards and stuff. It's great orchestra, great arrangements, but he's just not that good.
That would be a good topic for a whole video. Bad celebrity albums. I got a bunch of them, but you know they're out there somewhere. Here's
something you probably. I saw this recently. Now you've seen this album cover, right? Esquivel.
Oh, Esquivel. Yeah, I've got two or three of his. I might have that one. I might have that one right here somewhere.
Now he's got a lot of great stuff. But what's great is this album cover here, both by RCA Records. Look at the background. They use the same moon background.
They just flipped in the set there.
They go, you know what? It worked for one. How about we make it work for two? Isn't that great?
Didn't they use that for the Apollo fake moon landing too?
I don't know. They might have. Yeah. Who knows?
I have the first Esquivel. I got a 3 or 4 of his cool songs.
Yeah, my dad's got one of the Esquivel records. That's why I liked it. Here's one of my favorite soundtrack records, and this is probably the most expensive record I ever bought. I bought it years ago on eBay for like $50. It's not easy to find, but it's On Any Sunday, Dominic Frontiere.
Don't
It's
think
a
I know
great
what
late
it is.
60s music. The movie was with Steve McQueen, and he's riding his motorcycle and dirt bikes and stuff all around. It's a really, really cool album. I mean, just all instrumental and some singing. But that I bought years ago. I spent the most money on a record ever.
Steve
and
McQueen.
Yeah.
That's probably
I
him
have
on the
this. Yeah. None More Black. Now, this is the Beatles' Black Album.
cover. Oh, not
If you can
Spinal Tap.
see, I will, no. Look, see the Beatles embossed right there, like the White Album. I don't know if you can
I'm
see
gonna have
it
to
right
do the blow
there.
up again here. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, you see it?
Barely. Barely.
It's embossed. I'll take it out so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, let's go. See that? It
Yeah,
says
now I
the
see it.
Beatles. So I
What the
bought
heck is
this at the Beatles, the Beatle Fest back in the day, and
Mhm.
it's a 3-album set, and it's done up just like the White Album, except it's got all these outtakes from the TV, what do you call tapes? And they also, not only did they make it look like that, like the White Album, but they also gave you a poster. Let me get this here. They also gave you a poster that looked like the poster in the White Album, but it's with completely different pictures. So you know what the White Album poster looks like.
Right.
Same sort of idea, but they gave you all this in there.
So is this,
Now this
bootleg or official?
Oh yeah,
or unofficial?
total bootleg. Yeah,
Total bootleg.
this is just one of many Beatle bootleg albums that I've got, and I just wanted to show you this one to represent
That
all
one
the
might be
bootleg albums I got.
worth a lot
It's-
because it's so elaborate.
It is. It's a 3-record set, and you remember that there was a bootleg. Remember that label with the dog on the
Mhm.
bootlegs? Yep,
Mhm.
that was what it is. So I have the Black Album, and I know they sold it. This is other ways, other names and stuff, because it's, like I said, right off the recording tapes of the TV. I mean, of the cameras, and they just took those tapes off. Speaking of another Henry Mancini, this is one of my favorite albums, Mr. Lucky,
That I've
the
seen.
soundtrack.
Mhm.
And of course, my YouTube channel is MrLucky.com. I recently got to watch all these shows while I was in lockdown here. I got to watch them all. Never seen it. It was only out one season. But right here, you'll see there's Mr. Lucky.
Here we go again.
See that?
Slide over.
Mr. Lucky with
so
a
your
little lady
channel-
luck in
so you're
there.
named after that show?
I named it after the show. I named it out. I like the name. I like Henry Mancini. So I like something to do with luck, and I made that lady luck. I go, hey, I'll make a Mr. Lucky tattoo.
59 is the year of
59, yeah.
significance. Is that the year that
Yep.
came out?
It's very significant. Yes. It's a
So
great
that was
album.
Was that a TV
Yep.
show, not a movie?
Yeah, it was a TV show for 1 year. And it was kind of a pseudo spy thing, but it was black and white. And it was when like Peter Gunn and all those ones were out, Perry Mason and everything. So they were along those same lines. But I just recently got it on the Blu-ray player. You know how you have like the apps, the free apps. It's on the Tubi channel, Tubi.
I got Tubi, yeah.
So look through Tubi, look for like whatever old classic TV shows, and you'll see Mr. Lucky. So I got to watch him. I'd never seen it before. It was
Kind of
great.
like a film noir for TV.
Yeah. How about this one? I know you got this. Lord Sutch and Heavy Friends.
I don't.
Do you know who Lord? Now Lord Sutch was this rich lord, guy in England back in the day, and his heavy friends were Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, these kind of guys, and they're all on John Bonham. They're all on this record. They're obviously great musicians. However, Lord Sutch, he was called Screaming Lord Sutch because he couldn't sing at all. But he had a great backup band. So this is a pretty cool record to have.
So he tried to make it as a singer, and he got great musicians.
Yeah, he put out two records, and that was one of them. Here's one of my favorite records I discovered. Buddy Johnson, who sax player, but he's got a couple singers on there, some instrumental stuff. This is a pretty worthwhile record too. and it's also got the original of Since I Fell for You, which he wrote on here. And it's a little different version of the ballad that you've heard. Here's another great one.
Did not know that.
Did you know? Do you know this one, Walter Wonderly?
Let's see. I see Verve. That's a song that everyone knows and doesn't know what the song is.
It's called Summer Samba.
Summer Samba.
And he's the. It's on Verve Records. He's an organist. You know, this is his best album. This is great. Talk about your loungy stuff.
It's been used so many times. I hope he made some money on those.
I know. We did it with the Sharps. We did it with the Sharps on our record that we did.
It's instrumental though, right? It's just organ.
Instrumental, all instrumental. Here's another great album cover, Les Baxter, and it's a really good album too. It's pretty saucy.
Haven't heard it.
Saucy. I mean, for 1955 or 6, whatever this was.
I thought you were saying 19 later.
No, this was like in the 50s. And it's like, wow. It's like they put out some pretty steamy covers. Now here's two that I know you know. Our Man Flint and In Like Flint. You know these, right?
I know the story of Flint being in or out, but I don't know those records.
It's Jerry
way more advanced than me.
James Colburn, you know, it was another spy movie, 2 of them in the 60s, spoof, very much like what Austin Powers took for his thing. He took a lot of stuff from Flint. But these are great albums by Jerry Goldsmith. And the one song in there is Your Zowie Face. That just tells you how cool this record is.
Zowie. It's mostly instrumental though. It's like
score. They do. Yep, it's all instrumental, some bossa nova and things like that. But they sing Your Zowie Face. There's one instrumental and one singing of it. Your Zowie Face.
Both versions.
Now, here's a song. Here's a record that I DJ'd with billions of times during the dinner crowd at weddings and stuff, because it's Vince Guaraldi, and it's just the greatest Vince Guaraldi stuff. This is the coolest Vince Guaraldi album ever.
On Fantasy, I'm guessing.
Yep, on Fantasy.
But that's not the Christmas stuff. That's other stuff.
It's like, you know, it's as cool as the Christmas stuff, but it's completely different. Speaking of other things that I DJ with, I've got all these. I've got a lot of these Va Va Voom. Here's one of them. There's a series of Va Va Voom, Las Vegas Grind. You know, just a bunch of other ones that they have put out that have these like kitschy sort of 60s.
Is that vintage or that's a compilation of old stuff?
This is a compilation of these records. Cool. So Va Va Voom is the series. This is number 3. Is number 3 in the Va Va Voom series. But there's a lot of other ones, like I said, Las Vegas Grind, Va Va Voom, a couple other ones that I'm spacing out on the name right now. But I DJ with those. Here's one of my favorite Sandy Nelson records, which my new band, the Double Whammies, we play a couple of these Sandy Nelson arrangements. Really good stuff. He put out 1 million records in the go-go era. This one is the best one. Here's a really cool record I had no idea about, Mel Henke. And it's like really, it's a great cover. And I bought it just for the cover. It's got, I wonder what the record's like.
Bunch of ladies and Mel in the middle.
Yeah.
I guess.
And it's like instrumental, jazzy sort of stuff, but yet
La Dulce Henke.
Yep. The singing and stuff, it's all very, I mean, it's kooky. And you've probably heard the lively ones, the Twisters. It's like they got these little speaking parts in between. It's all real jazzy and upbeat.
Loungy.
That's
60s or 50s loungy.
That's 60s, yeah. Here's another great album that I just came up with.
Shaft in Africa.
Yes. Wow. Now, we all know the song Shaft. This is one for the different ones, but this whole album is really, really cool. Talk about your blaxploitation cool music. This is the one. And
I just got the original Shaft soundtrack at the Goodwill last year, the same week that the new Shaft movie came out. Good sounding album.
And of course, it's a great album. Yeah, but that one
never saw that one. So that's one of the spin-off sequel movies.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie, but I found the record. It's like, it's got to be good. Here's an interesting Dean Martin, Dino Latino.
Dino Latino.
it's
doing
all Latin
Spanish.
stuff, but it's just a great painting of him on the cover.
Yeah,
now I got a
lot of Dean Martin.
Oh, I got plenty. I got a couple Frank Sinatra records I want to show you because I didn't know that there were different covers. Now, you've seen this one, right? Sinatra Swings.
Mm-hmm. But
it's on now.
Reprise.
And here's the back of it. Okay. Black and white picture of him swinging a golf club.
Right.
Well, I found this.
That's not the cover I have, though.
This is the other cover. Yeah. Uh-huh. This is Swinging. What is this one called? Swing Along With Me. Same album, but they changed it and they put a little color picture of him on the back instead. Now, why would they make that different? Why would they call it Swing Along With Me or Sinatra Swings?
Didn't sell.
I don't know.
I don't
know, but that's an interesting one, and I had no idea. And then here's another interesting one.
Let me just mention, I showed that the first record on the video I did yesterday on my channel, where I think I showed 50 Sinatra albums in a row. So if you're really bored, you can sit through all of that.
Here's my second dual Sinatra cover. Now you obviously know this one.
Yeah,
this is one of the. This has got great songs on there. Now, however, look at this one, and look at the picture of him on this. Do you have that? Have you ever seen that?
Okay, what's the difference? It's the resolution.
Look at the picture. It's a completely different picture.
He changed his position.
But he also looks really skinny and sickly in this one. This one here is a great picture.
I'm trying to remember which one I have. I think I have.
You probably have this one because I have never I've never seen this one, and I
think that's the one I have. I'm going to check my video again and see which one I have.
This is the more rare one, I'm sure. But I mean, look at the difference in these shots. So they did the same thing with the Billy Idol album. Remember when it first came out and they had that one picture of him and he looked sickly, and then they changed it when he got really big and they put out a different cover on it. Remember that? They changed it like halfway through. Okay. Just one of those things that I thought.
But Frank, he was so skinny when he first started out in the olden days in the 40s, and then that's not how people remember him.
I know. And he looks, I mean, even look at his cheeks there. He just looks like he's sickly there. It just doesn't look right. But it's the same record.
He wanted a more tough guy persona later on with hanging out with his buddies.
Speaking of tough guys, now you were going to put up a picture of me as my Dino a la carte, which I sing on Sunday nights. Not yet, but we'll get to that.
Oh, you showed the other picture though, right?
Did you?
Yeah.
No, I don't think we've shown anything yet.
We showed. Oh shit! Sorry. Excuse me.
So,
we showed this one.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's Dino a la carte. I sing every Sunday night.
Maybe we didn't.
Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. But look.
It was in the dress. It was in the dress rehearsal. So after we look at this, I'll get ready. This. We'll go back.
I made that flyer. Okay, I made that flyer off of this Jan Pierce album.
Got it.
Cover.
You do your own artwork.
I do my own artwork. I took him out. I put me in there, and I even put the Golden Tiki logo in there, like as if that's part of.
So let's see if I can do this. I can do all three of us at the same time. Something like this.
There you go.
All three of us on screen.
Yeah, look at that. And see on the bottom there, the Golden Tiki logo.
Yeah.
It's Dino a la carte in Vegas, so I did that. Thank you, Jan Pierce, for allowing me to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't even want a licensing fee. That's great.
I know.
Good for Jan.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much talked your ear off. I went through a lot of albums.
You gave us, what did we do, 40 minutes? Almost 50. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Did we plug all of your things that need plugging?
Mr. Lucky 59 YouTube channel. I'm at the Golden Tiki singing on Sunday nights with my Dino a la carte, Thursday nights with the Sharps, and I DJ there throughout the week. I also host Shrunken Heads there. I have my own Shrunken Head that they gave me, and we were featured on the Ghost Adventures show that had aired a couple months ago. And I also hosted for Zach Baggins his own Shrunken Head. So that one's called the Chinatown Poltergeist is the name of that episode. And it's all with the Golden Tiki. So I'm there, YouTube channel. And one more thing, I came up with this.
New t-shirt.
Right now I have stickers, but livid19.com will be up and running soon. And you could order your t-shirt soon.
Now I know what
hats,
this is. I
bags.
understand what this is, but for those who might
Yeah.
not, it's a play
It's
on.
whatever you want to be livid about. Any side of the coin of the last 3 months or whatever's been going on. You want to be livid about jobs, death, the situation, masks, whatever. You can just be livid in your own way. That's all it is. It chooses no side.
About something.
Yeah, I mean, look what it did.
You could get.
So anyway,
T-shirt is coming out. I thought
yes.
you wore the licorice pizza instead of the livid. I appreciate that.
Yep, I did that because it's all about records. That's why I wanted to talk about records. So
I appreciate that. So, folks, when you're in Vegas, there's ample opportunities to see the hardest working performer in Vegas. Tony is appearing 3, 4, 5 nights a week, especially at the Golden Tiki Room and other places. And amazing record collection. Thank you, Tony. We're going to do this again because you have another hour's worth of stuff to show us.
Oh,
you might wait a few weeks. Let people digest these.
I appreciate you letting me talk your ear off and show you all these records.
I love it. I love it. Lots of cool stuff.
And of all the other record collectors out there, I hope you guys, saw some things you recognize, you didn't recognize. You might have learned something. You might have just
we got to go run and buy. The problem is every time I watch one of these videos, I got to go buy a bunch of stuff, and now I'm overflowing with records. That's
what we as record collectors are. We're junkies. Hoarders, we just can't ever get enough of it. Yeah,
addicted. Tony, I think that covers it. So fantastic seeing you. We'll check you out next time we're in Vegas. And signing off, guys. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Greg. All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Vinyl Rundown, also on Instagram, Vinyl Rundown. Let me know what you think of this video. Appreciate Tony coming by. We're signing off for the day. Bye-bye.
Cool.